Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Just a quick little disclaimer, I'm chewing gum, so if you're wondering why I'm chewing, I'm trying out the Neuro gum. Anyway guys, we have like 6 setups, maybe a little more, 6-7 setups to review. This is going to be a 2 video weekend. There's a lot of setups, the market's really good. If this is your first time watching, welcome in, we're swing traders, right? So if you happen to see a stock in this video and you're like, oh, let me buy it, and the stock goes up, that's great and all, but it's really important for long-term consistency that you actually create a strategic plan, right? You understand how to systemize risk, how to take, why to take trades, how to understand the markets, have situational awareness. These are all skills that you need to obtain, right? If you're just going on YouTube looking for stocks to pick because the market's good, yeah, you might make money in the short term, but again, consistency is key. That is not going to create consistency. So I'm just going to say, if you want to learn how to swing trade, you go to the Discord in the description. I do not charge money whatsoever for anything in there, at least for the time being. It's been free for well over a year since the community's inception. So go check that out, guys. And if you want to see more setups, follow me on X, also in the description. Okay, let's get into it, guys. So a few things, right? What was the market doing this week? Well, Bitcoin's obviously been one of the hottest areas in the market for good reason. It's been skyrocketing. So I want to talk about MicroStrategy. Right? We already know. Let's just quickly look at Bitcoin for a sec. Right, so it's about to break out. Right, try getting that quick little break over 104. A little bit of an impulse move, kind of pulled back. But if you look at what we're seeing here, this is a beautiful setup. I mean, this is what we love, right? These like flat top resistances and the stock or equity, or in this case just Bitcoin, floating higher. Right, following the moving averages, consistently making higher lows, and then we have a key level here, which is basically that $100,000 level. It's like a psych level right there, like dead on 100K. That is the key level we're looking at. So we pivot to MicroStrategy, which is essentially they trade Bitcoin in a leveraged sense, or they invest in it, and they're able to leverage their Bitcoin holdings. We look at this setup right here on the daily, and it's extremely tight. It's really compressed, right? We had a lot of expansion and a huge wave of momentum here. It definitely got a little bit overextended, and now it's pulled back. A little bit of a fake out on Thursday. Friday was beautiful. Look how thin that candle is. The volume's very low relative to what it was just putting up recently. And this has the potential to make a nice explosion come next week, getting that break and actually holding above 100,000 on Bitcoin, right? Like, so like 100, get to that 107. These are levels and hold above it, right? So that's what, oh my gosh, sorry guys. And I got the phone right in my face. Okay, click out of trading view. Okay, so these are things that, we're going to think about this week because Bitcoin is looking really good. I expect it to really get the break this week and hold above. So MicroStrategy is where it's at. I was looking to buy yesterday, aka Friday, and I was just waiting for it to break on, someone pointed out to me this 1 minute structure it had, and it never broke through it, so I didn't buy. Otherwise, I probably would have bought, but I think it's going to be good for entry on Monday. Anticipating, breakouts on something like MicroStrategy is fine because I suspect, given this price action, there's really not a lot of like overnight huge downside risk. I really don't feel that way about the setup. So, anticipating a breakout, especially in a market like this, is, an acceptable practice. But anyway, it looks really good. Your R to R, the risk to reward, which is extremely important, right? Like, if you lose on a trade like this, you're not going to lose much, right? You're cutting this trade out very quickly, right? Let's just say your stop loss is somewhere about 384, right? But let's say you're going to take profits around 540. I don't know, maybe it's lower. But the point is, the distance between your entry and your stop loss is so much smaller than your potential areas of profit. And that's how we make money, right? It's not necessarily a percentages game. Like, win rate is not our primary focus. While obviously we try to win as much as possible, like anyone should, we're focused on keeping losers small, winners big. That is the essence of swing trading for most people. And that is certainly what we do. So anyway, let's continue on. MicroStrategy good. Nuclear trades. I want to talk about nuclear. CCJ, we spoke about this in recent video. Tried to break out, pulled back, flat on Friday. It's fine. The volume really wasn't there. Obviously, I'd like on a breakout, really strong volume. It didn't give it. did not provide that, but oh well. OKLO is also looking good. It looks like it can definitely squeeze out. Things are tightening up. That can squeeze. UEC, again, tried breaking out on its own. Pretty similar to CCJ. Similar timing. The volume wasn't there as well. And it tried getting the breakout, or it got it earlier in the morning, and it just didn't have enough volume to confirm the move and really stay above, where you'd like it to close. So, anyway, nuclear names are good. I think there was a nuclear stock in particular I wanted to mention, though. Oh, it was OKLO. I mean, yeah, this is nice, right? So we've already spoken about UEC, CCJ, OKLO. Oh, you know what else is good? So OKLO is nice, right? We obviously see this. It's made a massive move higher, and now it's looking like it wants to squeeze up. Volumes were actually pretty high on Friday. It had a nice day. It was up 9%. But realistically, we want to break out of 22.5, I would say. That's a nice level to get out of. On a squeeze, you want some big volume. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. But NNE looks really good. NNE, I've been trading this thing for quite a while now. We've had quite a few trades on NNE this year. Even earlier here was a beautiful trade. I traded it in here, made a move here, got in here, made money on all this, and I'm still in with a smaller position, but as you can see now, it's looking like it wants to squeeze again. So we've had a lot of these squeeze patterns on NNE, right? So like tightens up, bam, squeeze, expansion. Tightens up, squeeze. Tightens up, and it's here. I can just readjust this drawing, right? And you can see it's tightening up, and it's going to want to squeeze out. Now, someone asked me in the Discord, this was a really good question, and I think it's a really great question. They were like, oh, well, do you think nuclear's extended, right? Is nuclear a bubble? So let's break down why nuclear is up in the first place, right? So nuclear is up due to data centers like, Facebook or, any company that deals with large amounts of data centers. They want to power data centers with nuclear. That's one of the preferred ways to fuel the data centers in a way that I guess is more environmentally cautious and also efficient. So a lot of these nuclear stocks have been receiving contracts with data centers. Now, it's hard to price the true value of these contracts, especially I'm not going to sit here and run the numbers. Yes, I'm a finance student. Yes, I probably could, but it's really hard to truly capture the value of these deals and how whether the company's worth what it currently trades at. Is just right off the dome right here, I would say NNE is not worth what it currently trades at. I just don't think so, as for most of these stocks. But that's why we follow the technicals as well. And another thing is Meta, they just did a deal with a gas with a gas powered data center. So I don't know. Maybe this is a little bit of a bubble in the short term with the nuclear. Most likely it is, but this is the key point I'm getting at, right? Let's say we take if we lose on a couple of these nuclear trades, who cares? They're small losses, right? And we've already won a lot with the nuclear stocks. But let's just say this was the top, which, from a technical standpoint, it doesn't appear that way. This is not a top, right? At least I don't see it that way. But anyway, let's just say it is. Right? Okay, we take quick losses, right? Let's just say our stop losses were set at 24 and something like this. All right, we take quick losses. All right, no big deal. That's why risk management, is so valuable. But our winner, if this is not, let's say they have one big run before it really tops out. Let's say we get a run to 60. Yeah, okay. So how many losses did we just compensate for if we get a run to 4, or if our average sale price is 47 on this, right? So it's about risk to reward. And I want to go back and I want to talk about this for a second, and I don't want to, disrespect any other YouTubers, but you guys, there's a lot of videos out there from people that are talking about companies like, oh, this company's doing this and this and this. You should buy this stock now, right? Because of these developments that are occurring. But intrinsically, the stock isn't worth anything in relation to what it's already trading at. Oh, who cares? A company got a deal with there's a partnership between this solar maker and this plant. It doesn't matter. In the short term, most stocks are going, especially crappy companies that do not produce cash flows, are going to have these massive leaps of exuberance and then they're going to fade off. So you might, especially someone that doesn't know how to navigate technicals, you might get caught at the top, right? And just, basically get trapped in that and become a bag holder. Why? You bought it on the basis of what exactly? News that has already been released, that's already getting theoretically priced in, but the company's not even intrinsically worth anything in relation to, the news. So, you can go back to I'm not going to do this right now because I want to keep it rolling, but you can go back to 2021. We're seeing a little bit of that right now. In 2021, companies that were worth zero were skyrocketing, right? And, these companies had these deals and they were going to be the next big thing. They were all going to be the next big thing. And you look to see what they're doing now, right? So profits are super important. Profits are important. Most of these companies do not actually produce profits, right? So you want to see a company increase its cash flows. That's how you know the company's quality, when it actually produces a positive cash flow and those cash flows are increasing, right? So anyway, I hope you guys learned a little something from that rant, hopefully. Okay, so let's go to INDO. I mean, no, not INDO. INOD. INOD. Okay, so this is something that's been on the radar for quite a while now, or at least recently. This is a stock that's been making huge moves, and see, they are profitable, right? So you can see this stock is This is a profitable company, and it's moving higher recently. So we know their profits are increasing, right? So this is a growth company that shows profits, which is so much more valuable than one that is maybe a growth company that is still not profitable, right? Or even pre-revenue at that, which some of these nuclear stocks are. Anyway, so INOD, this is bread and butter right here, right? Higher lows, lower highs. It's tightening up. We have beautiful risk to reward, high ADR. This is bread and butter, right? So anyone that's a swing trader that understands how to structure risk, and any person in the community that's watching this, you guys know this is an amazing setup. We love this. If it's not necessarily just about the chart, right? We understand many factors at play that make this good. Anyway, so this is really nice. It's pretty much, take a mental screenshot, guys. If you don't know this, bam, that's what a nice setup looks like, okay? It gives us a really favorable risk reward. It's a stock that's moving higher, that's having good earnings, it's beating on its earnings, the revenues and the profits are increasing. Good stuff, right? And we're in a really bullish environment right now. So when you're in the right theme, with the right companies, in the right environment, winning is kind of easy. We're in easy mode right now. So we have to understand, as individuals that participate in the market, we have to have situation awareness and understand, okay, this is when we put the pedal to the metal, right? The last few months and possibly into or earlier parts of the year, next year, 2025, pedal to the metal, right? Obviously still monitor constantly, but you have to understand when to take advantage of the situation and when to kind of ease off the gas, right? So, but anyway, hopefully you guys are learning from the extra ranting today. Okay, so next one, ILLR. So I've been watching this stock I was watching it for a while. It fell off my radar recently, but then yesterday, this is a Triller, so they're a TikTok alternative, if you will. Similar platform. It's significantly worse, like quality, but whatever. That's irrelevant. In the short term, stuff like this will, run on any narrative with TikTok being banned. So recently, like yesterday, the Court of Appeals shot down or upheld the ruling to ban TikTok. So we have a 11.5% move on ILLR, which is the TikTok alternative. But also, at the same exact time, right, we also have it breaking out of this, wedge or flag, whatever, who cares? It's breaking out, right, with some nice volume. So I figure, this is typically what I understand the narrative, I understand the setup, and given the narrative of TikTok right now, I don't think Triller, ILLR, has much downside, right? So the risk reward is also very good. I would even give it a little bit more space than a traditional trade because the narrative is really good. And realistically, I don't see this going anywhere below like 327, 325 on, due to this narrative, right? If TikTok somehow, changes the course of what it's looking like, the banning, this is going to go down. But in the short term, with the TikTok ban narrative, this thing has a really nice support, right? Like, I really don't think this thing is going to drop very much. So, and it's already breaking out with some strong volume. So this to me was a really confident trade. I took it yesterday. I say confident, but it was a smaller size, so maybe a little bit counterintuitive there. But anyway, this is a nice trade, right? So it's kind of backed by, a narrative as well, more than the technicals. Like, if this was just any other stock, any other penny stock, I probably wouldn't trade this right now. But the TikTok narrative is powerful, so I like it. Shopify. Shopify, we spoke about it in the last video. It's kind of just a little bit of an update. It broke out. It was only up 3.75% on Friday. So, if someone wants to get in this, I think they're still fine. I mean, you're going to have to figure out how you set your stop loss, where you plan to cut if this thing breaks lower, or moves lower. But I think Shopify has a lot going for it right now. I actually saw, I look at the App Store once in a while to understand trends, and the Shop app, there's an app called Shop. It's like number 4 in the App Store right now, or maybe even number 3. It's by Shopify. And I went on the app, and it's honestly really cool. It has similar UI to Cash App, and it's kind of, it's all these Shopify stores, and there's a lot of sales, and I think this is huge. This is a company that is not necessarily massive revenue. An app like this, it's number 4 in the App Store, and it's a shopping app, could significantly expand on the revenues. Now, I tried to look it up. This Shop was kind of launched in 2020. Shop by Shopify. They were launched in 2020, but I think recently, in the last year and a half, they've really added on to the features, and now it's starting to pick up. Right now, it's getting a little bit of traction. You go to the App Store, you understand consumer trends a lot by going to the App Store. So I like Shopify. I think they have a lot of wind in their sails right now. And, if we zoom out on the charts, I mean, this looks pretty good. It's in free room. Had good earnings. So I think there's a lot going for it right now. And back in 2021, it peaked off at 170. And the revenues are doing really good right now. The earnings, just in general, performing well. So I think 170 for next year's in sights. Yeah. Okay, last one for this video, and then we will continue on with another video. I'll probably upload it on tomorrow, which is Sunday. This video will come out on Saturday. But Upstart. The weekly on Upstart looks really nice. Let's just zoom out to kind of admire this weekly. Kind of breaking out of this next, this is a nice big base breakout. This is a pretty key level. The 80 to 84 level right here. Clearing this prior high was big. Now Upstart, just from a technical standpoint on the weekly, has a lot of clean air, kind of push through. And if we look on the weekly, it's flagging up. I actually traded Upstart here. Or did I? I'm kind of forgetting now. I think, I forgot the overall trade. I don't even know. I think I took some profits. I'm out of it right now because I didn't like this day right here. I sold on this day, but it floated back up into the resistance, and now it offers a pretty enticing setup. So with a lot of clean air to the upside, I'm definitely looking at this. Has what we want, right? These are the types of setups we like. It's tightening up. The volume is dropping off. Other than this day was a little weird. I don't know if there was a piece of news. I kind of forget, to be honest. I don't know if there was a price downgrade or something, but it floated back up, back into this resistance. Volume has dropped. There's definitely accumulation occurring. There are definitely people, investors, institutions that believe it's worth X amount, and therefore they're soaking these dips. I like it. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, description. Maybe watch another video. A lot of the videos that are going to be recommended to you, many of these setups are still valid. I try not to repeat the setups too frequently in videos, so there's still a lot of great setups in other videos. Go check those out. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.